Did you know something was happening in the neighborhood?
Yeah, because we first heard the gunshots.
Okay.
We first heard the gunshots. Gary came and was like, turn your music down. So then I came upstairs and we heard gunshots and we heard this woman screaming. We didn't think really nothing, and we got on the porch and we had seen this man. He looked really scared, and he told us this man was going around Copley just shooting people. So we let him in the house and closed the door, and he just saying, help me, hide me. And at this time, we're in the living room.
He's not by himself though?
Yeah, he's by himself.
This is Michael Johnson? Or
yeah, I think the bald-headed,
okay.
I think that is Michael Johnson.
Okay.
So he comes into the living room, and me and Gary's at the door asking him, what happened. And then just at this time, I look out our window and we see this little boy coming down our road. And like 2 seconds later, it's this guy with the gun chasing him. So then the guy is still talking crazy, and the little boy just ran to our house. I don't know why, but he just ran to our house. And we unlocked the door and opened it for him. And then he's like, help me, help me. And then, yeah, so we opened the door for him.
So he was by himself? He didn't run in with Michael Johnson?
No.
He ran in by himself?
Yeah, the guy came first, and it was like, because we was on the step for a couple, because I did call 911 first. The first time I called 911 was when we was all on the step, me, Gary, and the man, because he was telling us, and the 911 woman said that they was already sending police to Good Enough. So then we got in the house, and then that's when I seen a little boy running down the street, and a couple seconds later, you could see the man. So they was like not that far behind him. So he ran to our house, and we opened the door and unlocked it for him, and he come in, and we see the man like coming across our yard, and we locked the door, we turn around, and that man's gone that was in our house. Like, he had ran upstairs. And so Gary's like, let's go into the basement, and then we go into the basement, and the whole time we're going into the basement, it's Gary, me, Anna, Destiny, and my son Deshaun, and then the little boy, Scott. We was all going into the basement, and then the man was shooting through, because we had windows that you could see through the house, and he just was shooting like through it like that. And then we went to the basement. Gary closed the door. We go downstairs. He's like, turn the lights off. We turn the lights off. He was like, go into the boiler room. We went to the boiler room, and he was trying to find something, a weapon or anything, to help the situation. So everybody's into the boiler room. Gary's still out on the other side of the steps, and we're just hearing him, the man upstairs trying to get into the house. He's still shooting and kicking through stuff. And then I hear the window being broke on the door. And so we called 911 the first time in the basement, and I told him the gunman was there at our house, and to hurry up and everything. And I hung up, and then Scott was just like, help me, so my door is like a little cracked because I'm still looking for Gary, and Gary's in the other room in the basement, the laundry room, and we hear him kick open, like trying to kick down the basement door. So at this time, we're like down there, all of us is just like praying, like God to help us, So Scott was like, help me, don't let him get me. And so I tucked him and Deshaun and Destiny behind the furnace thing in there. And then we heard him finally get the door open. It came, and then that's when I called 911 the second time. And I was so scared. And I kept telling him that, you know, my address and everything. So then he came down the steps and you could hear him kicking over everything, you know, trying to, I don't know, and then we heard the door rattle because I had locked it. And then that's when he kicked in the door and he was like right there. And, you know, I pushed the kids all behind me and everything. And he just had the gun and he had put it to my head. And he asked where the little boy was and everything. I kept saying, I don't know. And he kept saying he know he there because he seen him come into the house, which I know he did because he was a couple feet behind him. So he kept asking a couple more times, and then he was like, he still had a gun to my head and he was pushing me out the way. I had Anna in my arms and Destiny was right behind me, and then Deshaun was behind her, and then Scotty was behind him. Like, we was all kind of holding on to each other.
4 kids.
Yeah, and we was all holding on to each other. And then as he's like pushing me to the side so he could come in, that's when I thought that maybe we could make it. I don't know, so I just said, come on, let's go. Because it was dark in there, and there was a lot of stuff in there. But he had a little light on a keychain, kind of, you know, it was a little. So as I grabbed Destiny and Deshaun, and we start going up the steps, and I'm like on the second step, and I just heard a gunshot. And it was like, I just knew right then that he was gone.
Deshaun is your son?
Mm-hmm.
He went with you?
No, he stayed to be with the little boy. Because when we came out of the room, you know, I had Anna over here and Destiny and Deshaun, and you know, the guy's like moving us out as he's coming into the room. And so I said, come on, let's go. And then as I got Destiny in this hand and Anna over here, and I'm pulling her up the steps and going up the steps, and then I just heard that gunshot. And then by the time I get to the top of the steps, he's already coming up the steps. And like, we're going through the glass and everything, because there's glass everywhere from when he shot in the windows and stuff. And as we get to the front door, I finally see the cops there. The cop and the off-duty officer was by the tree, and he was like right behind me. And as we come down the steps, they start shooting. And then this officer came and tackled us to the ground. And that's when he ended up dead in the yard. And then
so this gunshot goes off in your house, you're running up the stairs. He didn't let you go. You
No.
ran on your own.
Oh, yeah.
And then you hear this gunshot, so you don't know if your son is hurt because he stayed down there.
Well, I didn't know that he stayed down there until we got to the top of the step, and I looked behind, and then I seen a man coming up.
You thought he was following you?
Yeah, I thought everybody was behind me because I was pulling on him. I said, come on, because Deshaun had Scotty, and Destiny had Deshaun. Deshaun had Scotty, and Destiny had, we all was like together behind me, you know, so we had took off when I was like, let's go. You know, we all was, you know, I thought that was a chance, but I guess it wasn't.
Did you know that the guy that was chasing Scotty was after him when you let Scotty into the house? Or?
Well, yeah, he was that close behind him, so you would think that because the gun was in his right hand and he was running down the street like a couple feet behind Scotty, so.
My point is you took a big chance letting this little boy into your house, right? I mean, what makes somebody do something like that? I mean, you saw this guy with a gun and you were kind enough to let this little scared boy come in. I mean, you're a mom, obviously, you've got young kids, and you just wanted to do whatever to
Yeah.
This poor little kid out.
Because he was by himself, and I really didn't think. It's the whole point. I wasn't even thinking. I just seen him. He came to our door. He didn't go. There was a lot of houses, you know, and he didn't go to anybody else's door. He just came to our door. We didn't know him. He didn't know us, but he came to our door. So I let him in, even though the guy was really close. But you know, we figured that the cops would be there in time, you know, because it was already, you know, supposed to be. So we thought it would give him at least a couple more minutes. I don't know.
Did he say anything to you, the gunman, when he was in the house?
He just asked where the little boy was when we was in the basement, and he had the gun to my head. He was just asking, where's the little boy? I know he here. Where's he at? So it was like he was there for the little boy.
Okay. So how are you doing now? I mean, and your kids?
Well, we're going through counseling right now, and Deshaun seems to be okay. Well, he's not, but I think about all the things that we could have did, but didn't. Like, you know, we ran through the kitchen, why we didn't pick up a knife, or, you know, we always think about the what ifs. But I know it was nothing that could change it. But it keeps playing in my mind. But I'm very overprotective right now. I won't let my kids go anywhere just because, you know, it happened in Copley, and you don't think it's gonna happen in Copley. Copley's safe, but this happened.
Your kids are young, except Deshaun's 9. Were they able to keep themselves under composure in that situation? And I can't even imagine. How
Everybody was quiet. Well, actually, she started crying, and that's why he ended up coming downstairs instead of upstairs.
Okay.
But everybody else was quiet and just, I don't know, just.
Your heart breaks for Scotty's family, I'm imagining. You can't put it into words.
No, I feel so bad that he had to die like that. But he wasn't by himself.
And now looking back, knowing that you took a chance by letting the kid into your house, and that your kids luckily made it out okay, I don't know how to even ask this. Is there a blessing that you're here? How do you feel about being here after living through such a horrific circumstance?
It is a blessing, because he could have killed us easily, like he killed other people that wasn't, you know, involved in his family. And for the life of me, I don't know why he didn't kill us, but I know God had a big role in it, and he don't make mistakes, so everything happens for a reason. But
your kids they're all in counseling right now.
Yeah, Deshaun's in counseling. Actually, because he has a sister too, and the counselors are very nice, and they come over, and it's helping him. He act like nothing's wrong, but you know, it probably, you know, we're lucky that he don't have nightmares and stuff like that. But I know it's going to take a long time to get over it.
Do you wish that you hadn't let the boy into the house, or do you feel like
no, because that's
what you needed to do at the time?
Yeah, because that's one thing. If it happened again, if we could relive that day, I would still open the door, just because he could have died by himself. And if that was my son or daughter or anybody, I would be at ease to know that somebody let them come in and he didn't die by himself, instead of on the street or anything like that. So.
Anything else you would like to add that I haven't asked you?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody that's been helping us. Everybody's been very great. All the counselors and the Girl Scouts and everybody like that, Copley. And my mom, she's been a real big help. She helps, and then just everybody else who's been donating things. And
you have received donations?
Yeah, people cook, bring meals by. The victims' assistance, they got a lot of donations, different things. So I just want to thank everybody, and everybody's just been great, because I know I couldn't make it through this, and well, I thank God first and foremost, and my family, and everybody, my mom, Gary, my brothers, sisters, and my boyfriend's been here for me, Marlon. He's been here. He hasn't left my side at all.
He wasn't there that day, though, right?
No.
You can't go back to living there.
Well, it's kind of hard right now. Just walking in and going into the basement, you know, it's kind of like you just see, you know, it replaying, even though it's not, and then you smell and you just hear certain things. So it's going to be kind of tough, but yeah.